Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Jimmy Butler gets candid about Heat after Warriors' loss. It was a rough homecoming for Jimmy Butler in his return to the South Beach area. The Golden State Warriors got blasted in a brutal 112-86 loss to the Miami Heat on Tuesday night. Butler's individual performance did not offer much of a silver lining either. The Warriors star struggled in his first game back in Miami. Butler only scored 11 points, shooting 5 of 12 from the field and 0 of 2 from beyond the arc. The Heat have significantly struggled since the Butler trade. That was far from the case in this contest. There was a lot of turmoil involving Butler, Pat Riley, and the Heat organization leading up to the six-time All-Star being traded to Golden State. Despite that, his return to Florida involved a touching sentiment to one of the better stars in franchise history. The Heat had a video tribute for Butler. A classy move from the organization, and even more so considering the rough exit. However, it did not sound like Butler cared for it much. The Warriors forward got candid about how he viewed the gesture from Miami. The video was nice, but I won't say there were a lot of emotions. Butler spoke of the video tribute. Jimmy Buckets has always been known as a polarizing, outspoken character in the NBA. It should not be surprising to hear him be as dismissive of the move from the Heat organization. Perhaps it did not feel genuine, or perhaps Butler really could not care less one way or the other. The Warriors have now lost back-to-back games with Stephen Curry out of the lineup. That will likely be the main focus for Butler and the rest of the Warriors moving forward with the rest of the 2024-25 regular season. Warriors fans reminded of Andrew Wiggins' greatest trait in loss to Heat. After his first 14 games as a member of the Miami Heat, Andrew Wiggins is starting to find his footing. And the NBA champion and former All-Star put his all-around skill set on display against his former team on Tuesday. Wiggins helped the Miami Heat spoil Jimmy Butler's return in Tuesday night's win over the Golden State Warriors. Heading into the matchup, Wiggins was in the midst of a dominant two-game stint offensively. The talented forward put up a combined 72 points in that stretch, including a 42-point masterpiece on over 75% shooting from the field. Most importantly, that offensive explosion led to a win that snapped the Heat's 10-game losing streak. Although he didn't have that same impact offensively against Butler's Warriors, he still showcased his ability on the defensive end. Wiggins finished with just 10 points, but added 3 blocks and 2 steals. His performance helped set the tone in one of Miami's best defensive performances of the season, and his game-changing plays came at crucial times to squash Golden State's momentum. His two-way versatility makes him an ideal player in Coach Eric Spoelstra's system. That elite defensive side of Wiggins' game is one that Warriors fans know well. They'll remember him defending Jason Tatum in the 2022 Finals. Wiggins brings championship effort and experience on a nightly basis and can impact the game in so many different ways, even if his shot is off. Listed at 6'7" with a 7-foot wingspan, his length aligns exactly with what the Heat are looking for out of the frontcourt. Wiggins joins Bam Adebayo in a frontcourt that includes 2 highly switchable and versatile defenders. According to advanced stats, Wiggins has been one of the league's best individual defenders over the last 2 seasons. Despite missing some games due to a nagging ankle injury after the trade deadline, Wiggins is finally healthy, back in the lineup, and is starting to teach Heat fans what Warriors fans already knew: Wiggins is a winning piece. The Big Three era with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh was undoubtedly the greatest time in Miami Heat franchise history. It not only came with a pair of championships, but it was also must-see TV. James recently brushed up on some memories during that time of his legendary career. From 2010 to 2014, that Heat team created memories that will be stamped with back-to-back championships, 4 Eastern Conference championship titles, and owners of the second-largest winning streak of all time, 27 games. James accomplished plenty of individual success as well, earning back-to-back league and NBA Finals MVPs in that span. On a recent episode of The Pat McAfee Show, James was their latest guest star, as the future Hall of Famer discussed several topics, including his time in Miami. Prior to his infamous decision to join forces with Wade and Bosh on the Heat, James played 7 consecutive seasons with the team that drafted him in his hometown Cleveland Cavaliers. Born and raised in Akron, Ohio, the city was all he knew up until his late 20s in the league. In what will go down as the most hyped draft prospect of all time, he played up to all those expectations and then some, even early on in his career. The 4-time MVP quickly became a force to be reckoned with in Cleveland. Before he even reached the beginning of his prime years, he had already built a stacked resume with a plethora of individual accolades. The only thing missing? An NBA championship. That's when he decided to jump ship and join his best friend in Wade to create the most polarizing super team ever in South Beach. Of course, James' 4-year stint with the Heat came to an abrupt end when he decided to go back to Cleveland and deliver on his promise to win a championship for his hometown. He discussed his departure from Miami with McAfee, including how it was to work under Pat Riley and the Heat culture. As painful as it was for Heat Nation to witness arguably the greatest player of all time walk out the door, James did what was best for himself at that stage of his career. Although it was disappointing to see such a great Heat core split early, it was never personal. In his 4 years in Miami, he averaged 27 points, 7.6 rebounds, 6.7 assists and 1.7 steals on 54% shooting across 294 total games. He was an NBA All-Star and first-team All-NBA talent in each of those historic campaigns. LeBron James breaks down decision to join Miami Heat in 2010. NBA superstar LeBron James made one of the most discussed and scrutinized decisions in sports history in 2010. That summer he decided to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers to join forces with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh with the Miami Heat. The pairing gave the Heat 3 of the top 10 players. 15 years later, James discussed the decision on the Pat McAfee Show on ESPN. But, it got to the point, in that final season, I was like, I've maximized this potential, James said. I've squeezed all the juice out of this damn lemon here, and I know it, and in order for me to get to where I want to get to, I have to make a choice for my career going forward. And Miami was the best choice at that moment. James took a lot of criticism because many felt he was taking the easy way to a championship. The Heat won 2 titles and 4 straight finals appearances from 2010 to 14. I felt like it was the best choice for me, James said. The conversations I had with D. Wade, had with Bosh, had with Udonis Haslem. D. Wade and UD had been there, they had won 1, they had beaten Dallas. And you fan? What do you think about LeBron James' situation? Write to us in the comments.